Listen, vision. DC's #1 recording studio.
Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. It's Thursday night tea with Anthony. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. It's Thursday night tea with Anthony. Thursday night tea with Anthony. News, sports, truth with comedy, community mixed with a little celebrity. Every Thursday night at 6 in the evening. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea with Anthony. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. It's Thursday night tea with Anthony. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. It's Thursday night tea with Anthony. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Yo! Welcome to another edition of Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. I'm your host, Anthony Oakes, and we are here live in the Capitol at Listen Vision Studios. Give it up for WLVS Radio. Yo, we have an amazing show today. We have super funny comedian Angela Robinson. Also in the house, we have Jeff the comedian. We have a few more special guests that'll be coming through. We have a super packed show today, so we're going to go ahead and pay these bills. Share the video. And we'll be right back with more Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. Welcome to Lock Love Salon. We're located at 402 8th Street Northeast, Washington, D.C., right in the heart of the Capitol. Come in, let me introduce you. Welcome to Lock Love Salon. We here at Lock Love are an award-winning natural hair care salon that focuses on natural hair care and lock artistry. We believe in the inherent beauty of natural hair and take a more of a educational, holistic approach to natural hair to preserve hair quality and assure healthy growth. We have an in-salon marketplace stocked to the core, full of essential products to promote healthy hair, which we also use ourselves. All of our stylists are well-versed in all things natural hair care. Locks, extensions, flat twist updos, kid styles. We are here to promote your best you. Come to Lock Love so you can be locked in love, and we'll see you beyond the red door. Welcome back to Thursday Night Tea. We're having a little technical difficulties on the stage a little bit.
No, we got it together.
We got it together. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good deal. Let's talk about where we met. We met at the fire station.
We did.
Shout out to Alex Starr, Starstruck Productions.
Shout out to Alex Starr for being alive, because the last time I did a show with Alex.
Well, we won't even get into that topic. But I just want to say that Alex is a very dear friend of mine. He actually gave me my start in comedy, which he does to a lot of people. And he provides that platform. And once he does that, it's up to you to take it, to where you need it. But I just want to give a shout out to Alex. He helped me create this show, actually. And I'm just super appreciative. So shout out to Alex. So how long have you been doing comedy?
I have been doing comedy about 2.5 years now.
Okay.
I actually started doing improv, and I wouldn't behave, and I kept cracking jokes. And they were like, maybe you want to try stand-up. And then I lucked up and got into a class at DC Improv.
Okay.
And I've been doing it ever since.
You lucked up.
Yeah.
Because that wait list is like crazy.
Yeah.
You want to hear a crazy story?
Go ahead.
I was going on my computer to look something else up, and my web browser opened to the registration for the DC Improv 5 Minutes to Funny comedy class.
What?
And I registered. It was exactly noon when they were going live for registration, and I got in class.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that everything happens for a reason. You know, everything happens for a reason. I didn't I worked at a salon. Shout out to Lock Love Salon, who is my sponsor. I came here 4 years ago, was in a salon, was shampooing. One of the clients was like, oh my God, you're super funny. You should do stand-up. He was like, I got to know a guy. I'll give you his number and he'll help you out. So, I was like, boy, bye. I ain't got time for that. A month later, another client was like, oh my God, you're so funny. You should do stand-up. She was like, I just took a course. You should take the course. Shout out to Erica Lewis with Pretty Boy Ricky Entertainment. So I took the workshop. It was 2 months. They had a showcase. One of the older mentors was like, I see something in you that I really don't see in the other people. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that live, but hypothetically, she said that allegedly. But she said, I'm going to give you the name and number of a guy, and he's going to help you out. It was the same guy that the first person had gave me his number, and I discarded it.
Damn.
Wow.
And it was Alex for both people, and neither people knew each other.
Wow.
I went, met Alex at a bar. It was the Beer Baron. I didn't know. It was closed off, so I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was a bar. And he was like, you know how Alex was like, nah, you ready for this? You ready to get this? You ready to get this? So I was thinking he was talking like,
man, look, you get it together, man. Look, we going to New York, and then from there we going to LA. Like, I got you. You got to be funny, though. You got to be funny.
And I've been those places with Alex, so it's not like he's just shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
He's really being honest. But I thought that he was speaking like hypothetically or in general. Yeah. He was like, oh, okay, you ready? And then he walked over and pulled back the curtain, and it was like 100 people in there. Wow. He was like, I'm about to put you on. After that, it was magic. Like, so it's amazing how things happen, and I feel like they happen for a reason. Yeah. Everything. What about you? How did you get your start?
I've been doing comedy for about a year and a half. I took a short break because I felt like my material wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I took a break to write some stuff that I related to better. And for me, honestly, it was more so I like my mind is constantly going 100 miles an hour. Like I do a lot of stuff. And
what's your sign?
Aquarius. Even though I don't know anything about, like, I don't follow zodiac, so I don't know what that means.
What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
Apparently we not shit. That's what people tell me a lot, that Aquarius is not shit. I don't know.
That's really detrimental to an ego.
You guys are just in your own
The evidence
space.
is stacked up against me. So,
but comedy for a year and a half, you took some time off, get your stuff together, and
but it started where I would think a joke, like, and because I've loved comedy my whole life. Like, I study comedy, like, every genre, white comedy, black comedy, foreign comedians. Like, I've watched, like, I love Netflix now. The platform that Netflix is giving to comedians is amazing. Yeah, I've seen two stand-ups in foreign languages where I'm sitting here reading the subtitles, and I can't 100% grasp because without being able to understand the language, because so much of comedy is nuanced in the way that it's delivered, so I don't 100% get it, but even still, I can just appreciate, like, I can tell from the audience reaction the way the jokes are landing.
And if they're well written, they should be universal.
Yeah. And so for me, so I started thinking in terms of stand-up. So it'd be times where I would just think of something, it'd be funny, and then in my mind I would visualize myself telling it on stage to a group of people and how it would go. and one time it happened, and so I was like, no, that's funny as shit. And I wrote it down. And then it kept happening. I kept writing them down. And then eventually it got to the point where I was like, man, I got all this material. Like, I might as well do something with it. So that's when I got on stage. Like, I started looking up different places. You're right about Alex, man. Because it's hard to find, like, if you're someone who's trying to jump in, like, feet first into comedy in this area, it's hard to find places to go for. For a while, for me, I was looking for months for a spot that would even let me on without having an audition tape. Most of it, like DC Improv is like, all right, well, we need a 5-minute tape of a show you did before, and then a lot of other improv places. And I finally found one random spot of stand-up comedy to go.com. I went and I did 2 3-minute sets for them, and then they wasn't trying to give me no more time, even though I was killing their shit, but he wouldn't give me more than 3 minutes.
Well,
so
here's the thing. Well, we're going to talk about this later at the end of the show about, how you come into your comedy chops, what initial comedians have to go through when they, go through that initial phase. And we're going to talk about all of that after we talk about after we perform. Okay. All right? So we're going to get into our topics. Are y'all ready for these topics today? We have some really good topics today. First and foremost, I am not a football fan. Well, let me change that. I am not a professional football fan. I love to like go to college games, go to the game actually, and be in the midst of the game.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of watching sports on television unless it's tennis or something like that.
That's weird as shit.
Yeah, yes, it is. It is.
All the sports to be like, I can watch people slap a ball across the net repeatedly
And
for
go,
an hour, and that's lit. But I can't watch football or basketball.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah,
Serena,
that-
I can hear her. I can listen to her do that all day long. But watching men tackle each other, I just can't really get into it. And you would think because I'm gay, I would like it, but I don't.
Very ironic.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the irony is uncanny. But the NFL, we all know that they are not fans of the protests that the players have initiated because of Black and Brown lives. They have fought tooth and nail on how to suppress the protests that the players have, which is their Second Amendment right to be able to protest. So they, at the end of the day, they were having talks with the players and with the union, but now they've just come up with a rule that says that kneeling is unacceptable if the players are on the field for the national anthem. Now, they did give them the option to either not come out of the locker room, but to be honest, I just feel like it's the new slavery.
I have a very strong opinion about this new rule. I've read up a lot about it earlier today because I don't do shit at work. And the way I feel about it is, fuck this new rule.
No F-bombs. And I think you've reached your shit capacity, too.
I did?
Yeah.
I'm fresh out of cuss words?
Yeah, fresh out.
Okay. I strongly dislike this new rule. I do. For a lot of reasons. First of all, just the fact that they were able to come up, like the process that it takes to draw up new rules and regulations in professional sports, it's a long and drawn out process. Like it takes a long time. Like it took them, they were thinking about changing the rules for the kickoff. They moved it from the 20-yard line to the 25-yard line. It took them like 2 or 3 years to decide on. Mm-hmm. They managed to come to a decision and vote unanimously in less than a year about players kneeling for the national anthem,
and which is it's against the regulations, and that's why it probably takes them that time to do that, because they're supposed to address the union when they make decisions like that, and they didn't, so they can actually be sued for bypassing that what they were supposed to do.
And they should, the whole way that they went about it, that like not bringing it, like it's a player protest and not a single player was spoken to about the whole thing. That's disrespectful to, like, at some point they're gonna realize that y'all are in power, it's your league, but the players are the people that are driving it. At the end of the day, they all decide, and that's gonna be impossible just because of the situations a lot of players are in. A lot of them, they come from nothing. Like this is the only money that they making. Like they supporting families. So it's hard to criticize certain players for like with the ones that don't kneel. Like I feel like it's a lot of players that want to kneel and don't kneel because they got their mom lights about to get cut off, and if they kneel, they're in a position. And the NFL is the kind of league where your money's not guaranteed, and you can get cut at the drop of a hat.
Well, I think that's a compound issue, because if you're in the NFL and your mom's lights are about to get cut off, there's one issue, because you should have some type of money to assure that is not. I mean, lights getting that's down to the wire issue. You know what I'm saying? Now, I feel like ancestrally, our people had nothing to lose by protesting because they didn't have a choice. Yeah. You know, they stopped riding the bus and they walked 5, 10, 20 miles to work. Mm-hmm. The mentality that we have now is that we don't want to, quote unquote, lose out
what we have.
And go through what our ancestors went through in order to make change. They made change by what they did. The civil rights movement, by boycotting, protesting. We don't have those chops. Yeah. We can't protest. We can't even stay out of Chick-fil-A and H&M. But you know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with that, only because the way history is written, it's told that everyone participated in. But like it was plenty of black people that was like, nah, I can't. And it's the same for the same reasons. And I don't fault them in that time for the same reason. I don't fault the ones that don't do it now. And they may feel like they may want to, but they can't necessarily do like it's asking a lot to put that on someone, and it's
Is
easy.
it?
I think it is.
It's a choice that we all make.
It's a choice, but it affects their lifestyle. So it's a lot of people
But not
criticizing.
their life.
But it does. I mean, their lifestyle is their life.
But what they're fighting for will affect their life. Like when we're talking about Black lives being shot and people being shot for no reason and police brutality, that affects people's lives, not their lifestyles.
I mean, so for example, Colin Kaepernick has been blackballed. It's clearly understood. Like the man he's not being offered a job because of what he did. Fortunately, Colin Kaepernick signed a contract with enough guaranteed money that he can live comfortably. Even though he'll more than likely never work in the NFL again. A lot of players aren't in the same situation that Colin Kaepernick is in. And so it's a lot more difficult for them to do something like that, knowing that, and then they don't have the name recognition. Kaepernick had the name recognition. He was famous before he started doing it. So, and that's another reason why it drew so much attention. If a regular, like most NFL players, NFL is a league where you wear a helmet. A lot of people, they wouldn't recognize NFL players on the street if they walked past them, because that's just the nature of the league. Players are dispensable. That's the way they treat them. And it's hard, like, for a player, like, we can watch in our mind, just like you in the NFL, like, but to them, like, that's it's an everyday show. Like, I got a friend of mine who went to high school with me. He made it to the NFL. Like, I saw him play in Monday Night Football. He was the backup safety. And he's still trying to get back. He's trying to get back into the league. He had one injury, and it was a setback that affected his whole career. And so now he's fighting back, training, trying to get back into the league. And now you got to compete with the people you came out with, the people that's already in the league, the new players coming in. And it's a very dog-eat-dog business. And they treat players very dispensable. And so it'll be a guy that you'll expect that he's, like, you look at him from the outside looking in, look like he got it all, but I mean, he's struggling just like everybody else struggling.
Understandable. So I would love to have your take. Monica Livingston, shout out to Monica Livingston. She's a coach, and she is the head of 36 Nation, which is a show here at Listen Vision Studios. I would love to hear your feedback on that, and I definitely get what you're saying. And I would love to hear with the viewers. Comment on the live to see. To express your opinion. Shout out to Marcus Keith, who's watching. Shirley Foster, how are you doing? Alfreda Green, Monica Livingston. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like we all have to start pushing back a little bit more. I'll give you a small example. I just went through the painful experience of buying a car, okay? And of course,
God be with you.
Yeah, it's like I brought my own Vaseline this time, just to make it easier.
I know.
Yeah, but I actually turned down the lowest rate on a loan because of the bank that it was being offered by. And I told them, no, I will not do a loan with them, even if I have to pay more money. And I think we all have to start pushing back in little ways. I recently changed insurance companies. I have my own business, and so I had a lot of policies. I own properties, and I moved everything because they didn't have my back the way I thought they should have in a case recently. We have to start pushing back, even if we are comfortable, accomplished people of color, to let them know that we are willing to take a hit to get the services we want. I think Medgar Evers' uncle, the day after that trial ended, had to leave the state. He left his house, his car, all his possessions, got on a train, and left the South for the rest of his life. He left his house behind, everything. And I think we have to start being willing to sacrifice a little bit more, because I think you're right. We have gotten comfortable, and everyone else is counting on that comfort to be able to roll us over.
Exactly. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break right quick, and because my good friend Hee Hung has joined us, and she's going to join us on the panel. So stay tuned for more Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. Oh my God, it's like I woke up and I was a comedian, and then it was like I had my own show. It's crazy. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday night tea, Thursday night. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea. Thursday night tea, Thursday night tea. 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 Thursday. 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 Hey, I said Thursday. Thursday night tea. A Thursday night tea. I said, oops, it's Thursday. It's Thursday night tea. Oops, it's Thursday night tea. Thursday tea, Anthony. We're back. Thank you for tuning in for more Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. We're gonna get back into these topics. So, now we've been seeing this a lot lately, where I feel like with our new president, with y'all's new president, cause he ain't mine.
Who is y'all?
Let me drink that tea. But I feel like people have become emboldened to do things that they would normally do.
Hands down.
Yeah, like they just received this. I call it digital courage, for them to say things online. Sometimes to call the police on people who are doing regular everyday things when they are black or brown. There was a young lady. She was on the LIRR, which is the train in New York, which I think comes from like Queens or something like that. And there was a gentleman who I just could not believe how he attacked her. And we have the video.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Shut up! How about you loudmouth? You're loudmouth! You're loudmouth! Loudmouth!
Look who's talking, you mad for
Oh, I can't listen to you no more, man. I can't listen to you. I'm sick of listening to you.
Exactly, so shut
This idiot. This idiot. Idiots. We got
That's
twin
enough.
idiots. We got twin idiots.
No, shut the
Twin
hell
idiots.
up!
Twin idiots.
You're ignorant
Twin
as fuck.
idiots.
Shut up!
Twin idiots.
Shut up!
Idiots.
Your mother's
Listen
why
to
would you
your
your father's
Shut up.
When I
Shut
act
up.
like an ignorant white like shut
Listen
up!
to yourself.
Word several times. He says, you don't even know your mother and your father. Really going below the belt. And this is all caught on camera. There's a full set of people on the train. Yeah. So this is not something that was done with discretion he was literally berating this lady. And then I watched the video of her response and her just explaining how it affected her. And, I feel like as thick as your skin is, I have very thick skin because I've been through a lot in life, and which has provided me with the ability to allow things to brush off or roll down my back. But those things hurt. I don't care who you are. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care what color you are. Those things hurt. And just to see the hurt on this lady's face, it's unfathomable. It's unfathomable.
It used to surprise me seeing stuff like that, because he knew he was being filmed.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, it's like why you will keep going? You're that bold to keep going. Wait, there's a camera on you and you can see it, but then you see the results of what happens of case after case after case of people that had been filmed doing stuff like that, and it's like, all right, well, why not?
Yeah, normally they don't bring charges up, but now he's being charged with a hate crime.
Wow. Yeah.
He totally secluded this. I just can't imagine being in that situation and having to not react how I want to react. You know, hands.
He must not know no white people. Like, not one white person could get him out of that.
It's not gonna happen. No, they're going to. I feel like they're going to, and then they're gonna go
I've
after.
seen people get off way worse than that. The fact that he's getting charged for a hate crime for yelling at somebody on the subway.
And
That's amazing. He must be like
after that attorney who did it.
Oh,
yeah, they're going after him for hate crimes, and they kicked him out of his office.
But they're only doing him because of all the protests and people do it. Like, they brought extra awareness. Like, I've never seen this video before. This is the first time I've ever seen this.
Just
like,
posted like early today.
Like, that's a regular guy. Like, if it weren't for the fact, like, that's what I'm saying. He must not know a single decent making money white person
to get him out of it.
Yeah, for
or
him
maybe he
They
does.
have to defend the charges.
Yeah,
though.
they
It's not
still
gonna make the
regardless.
case go away.
Yo, regardless of who he knows.
Yeah.
And with that video, it's a wrap. It's definitely a wrap.
I've seen enough videos where I thought in my mind when it came out, oh, nah, it's a rap. Like, no, he's running away. He shot him in the back. Oh, it's a rap. Like, no, that's a murder. No, it wasn't a murder. Like, it wasn't even a suspension. Like,
which is understandable. I'm more of an optimist, so in order for me to digest, I have to be an optimist about the situation, because I'm a pessimist and I look at the negative, then I feel like nothing will change, or it will affect me negatively.
But even if the claims are dismissed in the end, it's painful to go through any legal process like that. And it's going to cost him money and time and embarrassment. And again, it goes back to, we have to start pushing back and standing up. And it's going to take her time and money and effort, and probably a lot of really nasty emails and things she's going to receive as well. But going through the process is going to make the next person think just a little bit more. And it's also going to raise more awareness. So, go for it. I'm glad that the claims are being filed.
And okay, this is another instance that happened the other day. And I saw this video and I just could not believe it. I could not literally believe it. I had to rewind it and make sure that it was happening. The Korean boss who had the young lady working for him, the man asked for, I think the order was wrong. He asked for a refund. So the lady, they were explaining why they had to do the refund. He just hauls off and smacks the worker in the face. Smacked the whole food out of her hand. We got the video here.
you got to, because I got to see that.
Yes or no? If I got fucking pay for it.
No, ma'am, you don't need to pay for it. She needs to pay for it. You made the mistake. She made the mistake. It's not her, sir. It's honestly not her fault. Oh my God, I got it on camera, and you assaulted her. You just hit her. You need to get a lawyer, ma'am. He just assaulted you, and I got it on camera. He just hit you.
Why are you just pushing me like this?
Why you fucking with him? What the fuck you?
Because she doesn't let
Wait. That's your boss, right?
I'm about to say, he don't care about your sponsors either.
Yo, okay, I should have bleeped that out too. The other one was all bleeped out.
Damn.
Yeah, like, so it's, people are becoming emboldened to do these things, and it's not acceptable. That was just I can't even believe it. Even now watching it, I can't believe it.
Now that might be a cultural thing. I don't think that like, because he looks like he wouldn't bang. I would hope he wouldn't bang with Trump in that administration either. But I mean, in overseas, they don't like.
Those
first
sound
of all,
like excuses though.
not an excuse. I'm saying it's just as bad. I'm not saying it's not as bad. I'm just saying I don't blame that on what's going on now. I blame that as that's
own individual issue,
like
not a part
those
of
issues would be
racial.
going on if Obama was still president. Like I can see that video happening regardless.
Well, I think it was more so that it was a black young lady, and we have to protect our black women.
Oh, absolutely.
And things of this. I don't care who it was. It's unacceptable.
I don't understand how she didn't hit him back. That's the
She
thing
must
that
not have
showed-
known any
Yeah.
good black people that she grew up around.
Yo,
All you need is one. You just need to know one.
I'm talking about
happened
these
later?
hands. Yo, this is crazy. Okay, so on to the next, because I'm just tired of all these topics. Morgan
I'm
Freeman.
about to say this is a comedy show. Is anything funny on here?
No, but we have to, even with comedy, you know what I'm saying? We address serious topics.
we got
So
that.
it's
Yeah.
like, get in where you fit in. Morgan Freeman.
Morgan,
Black Jesus actor. Morgan Freeman, not you, has been accused of sexual misconduct.
Who's going to
and
do the car commercials now?
Oh my God, who's going to do the voice of reason for every show that comes on TV and movie and commercial?
Who's going to narrate my dreams?
Yo, Morgan Freeman, pull it together. Just please pull it together. What up, Soda? What up, Yardy? Marcus? Yeah, I agree. If the Korean man would have been black, I feel like it would have been a different take.
Yeah, a fight.
But yeah, a fight. Yeah, definitely.
She definitely would have threw hands. She
but
definitely would
protect
have
our
threw
women.
hands.
Protect our women. Good news! Yay! Black Firm makes history in receiving the first $1 billion settlement.
Yeah.
$1 billion, and it was for a rape case. Now, will she see any of that money? No, because the person that has it does not have that type of estate. But it's the win itself and the amount.
So wait, hold on. So what does this mean?
That okay.
Yeah, I'm lost. I was about to clap for y'all. Like, damn, Shorty just made $1 billion. We lit out here, and he's like, yeah, but no, she's gonna make $50,000.
Well, it's not about. It's about the settlement itself.
They're saying that there's no cap on the amount of money that someone should be compensated for when something like this happens. You can't put a cap on the damage that a sexual assault does to a young lady.
Because how do you put a price on that?
Is this real money or hypothetical money, though?
Well, like the settlement might get reduced or something like that, and then you can only get what somebody has to pay up to the limit of their liability insurance or something.
So they're saying if they were worth $1 billion,
they would take $1 billion.
They would get $1 billion.
But they're worth what?
The cap on their liability insurance, which might be $1 million.
So basically, at the end of this settlement, they should have zero. When they go to the bank account, they should have $0.
They will be working off the books for the rest of their life.
Okay, that's a win. Yeah. They got my hopes up with it. They got my hopes up with $1 billion. They should have just sold it straight. Like, look.
And I have to point out that the attorney there was a Howard Law School graduate.
Oh, HU, which is right across the street. Give it up for Howard University alum.
Let's also give it up for FAMU. Just gonna throw that out there. Just gonna throw that out there.
FAMU. Stacey Abrams makes history in Georgia. Yes. She is the first black candidate elected for the Democratic Party, which. That is, in itself, the situation as it presented itself was really shiesty, I feel like, from the Democratic Party, because they didn't feel like that she could win because of who she was. Yeah. So they went and found another Stacey, who was Caucasian, and felt like she could win the race over this Stacey. She didn't.
Honestly, I'm glad that they went and found another Stacey, because I feel like all the stupid white people in Georgia just check Stacey on the ballot without double checking, and so we.
But their pictures aren't on there though. Like they wouldn't be able to know.
That's what I'm saying. So they was like, no, I heard Stacey was running, and Stacey Adams alphabetically is first.
Okay. Yeah.
So they was like, nah, Stacey, I don't have time for this, and tossed the ballot out there. And I'm grateful for those stupid white people because they made the right decision inadvertently.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to look at it, I think, if I'm understanding it correctly. I'm just glad that Stacey Abrams is on the ticket, and it looks like she's going to do an amazing job in the race. So shout out to Stacey Abrams and her campaign team and Georgia for getting on board. Like, I feel like there's a lot of black people down there, but we have no power in Atlanta. Last but not least, Serena Williams, who is undoubtedly the GOAT of tennis at this point. Her and Venus are like back and forth, just destroying everybody. Mm-hmm. Now, we were talking about protecting women and women's rights earlier. That she was seeded number 1, and then she went to have her baby, and the U.S. Open denied her seed.
Can you define that term?
So
because I know nothing about tennis.
Okay, so she's ranked. Her ranking was number 1 when she left out on maternity leave. Okay. So then she had the baby, and now they won't apply her former ranking. They placed her at 453. When normally what they do is they apply a special clause for people who go out on injury and maternity leave. They did not extend that credit to her.
So does it mean she was like artificially inseminated again?
No.
So at first I couldn't tell if this was sexist or racist, but then you just brought up that they do have a maternity clause for that, so now it is racist.
Or
So-
sexist, because I mean that should be hands down. When women have, I mean, you have to choose a child over your career. When men don't have to do that, they can just simply make the baby and then just go back to playing.
But I mean, if they have the clause and then they were just like, nah, forget that. That's racist. If the clause didn't, that's why. Because when you're reading the story, I'm like, that's sexist, but it might also be racist. Because like, Serena's career is so hard to judge because sexism and racism, and it's like, is this sexist? Did she not get this because it was sexist or because it was racist? Yeah. Like it's so hard to tell. Like she's had to jump over every obstacle, and yet somehow she's still who she is, and that blows my mind.
But with that seeding, it's almost impossible for her to win. When you're 450 and you have to blaze through all of those people, it's impossible. So we're running out of time. We have to wrap it up. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with funny comedian Angela Robinson. We'll be right back with more Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. Oh my God, it's like I woke up and I was a comedian, and then it was like I had my own show. It's crazy. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Welcome back to more Thursday Night Tea with Anthony Joe. I have a super funny comedian coming to the stage. She's going to set the stage ablaze. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Angela Robinson!
Thank you. Yes. Well, like we talked about, there's so much exciting things happening in the news this week. But in 2018, sisters are definitely representing. We've got Stacey Adams running for the gubernatorial race in Georgia. We've got a black princess in England, and we've got warriors in Wakanda. I'm telling you. Yeah. And you know what? And I'm not the only person that thinks that Wakanda is a real place, okay? It's been featured in 2 major motion pictures this year, right? And the president of Wakanda spoke at Howard's graduation right across the street a week ago, you know? But, you know, it's like we don't know all the countries, because we just hear about what's in the news. You know, we're following the Koreans and the Chinese, the Indians, the Mexicans with their immigration issues. The Jamaicans have something going on. You know, we follow the restaurant countries, okay? But there's a lot else going out there, you know. And it's hard living in D.C. because you've got to be so clever and so in tune with everything. And sometimes I don't want the yogurt with the probiotics in it, okay? I just want strawberry, okay? Fig, ginger, dandelion is not a flavor of yogurt. It's what the cow threw up, okay? Gosh, it's hard, you know? And then, like all female comedians, I'm single, okay? So I got that struggle. Yes. I used to have a boyfriend. And much like the princess, he was black, but he looked white. He was very light. And I don't even mean like Megan light. I mean like Swedish people light, okay? I mean like gets good tables at restaurants light, okay? When police officers walk by, they say, "Hi, sir, how are you? Good afternoon." And it's funny because I knew he was black because when we went out, we always had to stop for Newports. And if we went to the movies, he would argue and fuss at the screen the whole time. I'd be like, "Shh, be quiet. Just let them decide what they want to do, you know?" And if we went out to dinner, I had to pay. So that was a big clue. You know? But when we went out, I still felt self-conscious. I wanted the people to know that I was being loyal to my people. And so I would do things to make them act black. So, for example, one time I accused him of cheating on me, so he would start arguing with me in public. And then another time, I pushed him in a pool so people could see he couldn't swim. And these were just things I tried to do to keep him straight, you know. But I'm also turning 50 this year, and so this is a lot of fun. Yes. Thank you. And I'm not fishing for compliments. I don't think I look good for 50 or anything like that. I went to Howard, so I partied, you know, I smoked for 25 years, and I have a big bowl of ice cream every night, okay? I don't think I look good for 50. I think I look good for a chain-smoking, out-of-shape alcoholic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And with that, let's get back to the rest of the show. Thank you.
Now, where can they find you on social media?
Oh, yes. On Facebook, I'm at Hey Angie DC, and hey, like, hey, how you doing? Not like a farmer, which seems to confuse a lot of people. And I have a show coming up next Friday with Alex Starr at Fire Station 1 in Silver Spring. That's Friday, June 1st from like 8 to 10 o'clock. So come out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you.
No problem. Give it up for Angela Robinson, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we have two more comedians. The next comedian, super funny guy. I met him also at the fire station. Give it up for comedian Jeff.
Thank you. All right, I got 3 to 4 jokes for y'all, time permitting. So I wrote them on my hand so I wouldn't forget. First joke, white people. It's hard for me to meet people because I'm kind of socially awkward. Like, I'm what most people would consider a nerd and or geek. And so what I found is the easiest way to make friends is that, like, when I'm in an environment and I run into a black man and I'll just be like, white people, am I right? And that's exactly like now we're friends because he gets it. And he doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I can be talking about anything. I can be talking about racism. I can be talking about the dab. I can be talking about anything because y'all fuck up everything. Oh, I can be messing up anything. But he automatically knows what I'm talking about. It's a brotherhood. And white people, you guys can do this too, but just don't go overboard with it. Because I was out one time and a guy tried to do this to me. I didn't know it was this common, a thing that people do, but a guy came up to me and tried to do it. And I was sitting at the bar and he came up and sat next to me. He was like, yeah, these cracker-ass crackers, brother. Am I right? No. You're wrong. Second joke. Dating in D.C. Dating in D.C. is tough. All of y'all live in D.C. I'm pretty sure all of y'all have dated or are dating, and so you understand that it is tough. The key to dating in D.C. is to have a good job. And when I say have a good job, I mean have a good sounding job. You want your job to have 3 to 4 words in it because then it sounds more professional. Like, women are more likely to think that you're important. People care who you are. So, for example, I'm a program support assistant. But trust me, it's not what it sounds like. But I tell people that I am a senior technical program support assistant because 5 words, automatically, it sounds like I make at least $80,000 a year, which I don't. And other people understand this. I was out one night, and it was a couple having dinner, and I heard the woman ask the guy, like, what do you do for a living? It had to be a first date. And he kind of froze up. And I was like, nah, bro, don't blow it. Like, you got this. Just add words. You're the senior vice assistant, technical, whatever. Just do what you got to do. And he said, and this is exactly what he said. He said, yeah, I'm the senior vice president of associate mixed sales. And I said, oh, you were so close. How intense is McDonald's training that you can't stop saying mixed sales? Third joke. My parents, they do pretty well for themselves. They make for the area, they make a decent amount of money. But before they decided to have 4 kids, what they made would be considered a lot of money. And I'm the 4th of those kids, and so I was the sacrifice baby. So it was a lot of things my parents used to do that they can't do now because they had to sacrifice. Like when I was first born, my father owned 2 jet skis. They was parked in the garage. They were his pride and joy. When I turned 5, my father sold his first jet ski. When I turned 7, my father had to sell his second jet ski because at that time, my oldest sister, she was in high school. He was paying for private school. He couldn't afford it. And that was the first time I screwed up in school. And you will never know true disappointment until you come home after telling your teacher to give you your mother effing recess when you were a jet ski baby. It's not the same. Last joke. Grower, not a shower. I don't know why I wrote it that way. So, as you can tell from the title of this joke, I am what will be referred to as a grower and not a shower. And all right. I love this joke because there's always one guy that feels me like, I know, brother. Yes. And it's a struggle. Like, imagine going to the club and you dance with like 3 girls and none of them are feeling you. So now you got to go in the bathroom and rub your shit real hard. Like, nah. I'm finna go home with something tonight. And I thought about it, and it's because I've been doing things wrong. Like, I just been living regular life when in reality, my dick, he should have been a bank robber because he would have been the littest bank robber ever because we'll pull up to the bank. You know, now I'm the getaway driver. I'm gonna get him real hype. He's angry. Now he's mad. Now he's 8 feet tall. And so he runs in the bank. He robs everybody, steals all the money. And so now he's running out the bank and we driving away and we get pulled over by the police. And I look over and I'm like, hey, you got to do something about this. And I roll down the window and I'm like, can I help you, officer? He says, yeah, we got a report that a red Camry was just speeding off. We robbing the bank in a Camry. That a red Camry was just speeding off with $25,000 from First National Bank. They said it was a light-skinned brother with curly hair and an 8-foot-tall light-skinned man. And I said, well, officer, if you look closely, you got the light-skinned brother with the curly hair, but it's a 3.5-foot man right next to me, and there's no way that he did it. All right, y'all, I'm Jeff Moore.
Yo, wait a minute, come on. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
On social media, you can find me on. I don't check my Facebook, but I do now. I'm GOGEOF.Moore on Instagram and Twitter. I'm _Durant, like Kevin Durant. The word and then rave _ I made all of this back in high school, so I'm gonna change it soon. If I make it, if y'all enjoy this, I'll change it. But for right now, that's where you gotta find me.
All right, give it up for Jeff the comedian. Thank you so much, sir. We have one final comedian. This is a very dear friend of mine, and unfortunately, she's about to go back to China. Oh, I loved her ever since I first met her. She's hilarious. We perform together all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Hee Ha!
Wow, Wakanda forever. Yay! I'm not black. Sorry, in the wrong neighborhood. As they call hood. I was like, why is hood, not neighbor, you know? I'm confused. I'm still looking for the answer. I'm not white either, sorry. Dude, I'm yellow as fuck. Oh, sorry about that. Beep, yellow beep. Yeah, my name is He. It's spelled as He in English, but in Chinese is. Da, da, da. It's a lot of strokes. Very confusing. It's like Tai Chi. Yes, as you can tell, I am Chinese beep. I was made in China, so yay, hashtag surprise, hashtag not defective, hashtag is she a knockoff? I know. She's like, I cannot take anymore. I bought so many knockoff products from China. I know, being there before. I love my Louis Vuitton bag, you know. It's really cheap, by the way. Make me look good, you know. I have a very important job too, so I always carry my knockoff Louis Vuitton bag with me to make myself feel important, you know. It's one way to make you feel better in DC. I don't have, if we cannot curse, I don't have any jokes. I do. I know. What's wrong with F-bomb? Oh, okay. Cool. You know, in China, we cannot talk about politics on television. That's an F-bomb for us. I appreciate here, you know, at least we can talk about your, can we say shit too? Okay. You know, there's like, what's the words you cannot see on the television? Like, yeah, right? From George Carlin. So it's like, oh my God, there are so many things. Being PC in DC is, you can talk about anything about your president, but nothing else. You can, in China, the politically correct is you can talk about anything else but our president. You know, it's like, oh, your president is President Xi, and you're a he. Interesting. Your parents are really progressive, you know. Maybe they want me to transition, you know, later in my life. I know, right? He is a she now. I'm confused. I have a joke. You know, I have cultural shocks when I first came here. So somebody, my friend told me she laughed her ass off. And I called 911. I was like, what? How did you laugh your ass off? Which part of your ass is detached from your body? Is your buttocks? Is it anus? Is it rectum? Like, seriously, how you laugh your ass off? It's like an incremental change. Like, every time you jiggle, like some particles of your ass gonna evaporate into the thin air and just disappear from the universe? Or is it a one-time transaction? You know, I have to take off my pants, you know, just dropped and rolling around. That's the reason we have small butt. You know, Asians, like, we do. I really tiny flat butt, you know. That's the reason why we laugh like, ha ha. Remember all the Asian chicks you met? You know, ha ha, so cute. Yeah, I'm happy to be slapped. No. Oh. That's a fetish, okay? That's nothing. That's nothing to talk about, okay? Okay. I think I'm done. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yay! Can I promote?
No, listen, yeah, so you're having your final show, right? And where is that?
Oh, no, that's the parties. I want to promote the show I'm producing.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's going to be June 13th.
Okay.
At the Pinch. Door starts at 7 p.m. It's going to be a comedy showcase with all the immigrant comedians.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's June 13th. Like, we're going to promote the show next week starting. Yeah.
Okay, and where can they find you on social media?
Yes, it's really complicated because my name, it's HUANGHE_comic. Okay. On Instagram.
All right.
Yay!
Hee-haw. Give it up for Hee-haw. Also, give it up for Angela Robinson. We're also going to stay right here. Give it up for Angela Robinson. And give it up for comedian Jeff. We thank you for tuning in to Thursday Night Tea. Spotlight Over the City is next. Tune in next week. I have some super amazing guests for Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. And we're out, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.
Listen vision, listen vision. DC's #1 recording studio.
Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. It's Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. It's Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. News, sports, truth with comedy, community mixed with a little celebrity. Every Thursday night at 6 in the evening. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea. Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. Thursday night.